having a wee walk. Just to enjoy and take in the place. Just being outside in the woods. It's Christmas Eve. You don't have to run, you've got to enjoy it as well. And there's no doubt they're all probably panicking buying their Christmas shopping. And I just want to talk about, just want to keep in my mind, is gurus. Beware of the gurus. Life is hard, man. Doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't have you've got a Ivy League college degree. There's people there with that suffering. If you're a multi-millionaire, there's people with multi-million pounds suffer. If you're skint, you might not suffer. Some of the happiest people I've ever met are labourers and binmen. You know, with no care in the world. Just like a pint and they'd be happy. Anyway, beware of the gurus, keep it in my head. Because I've just listened to a motivational speaker there, which I sometimes do when I'm struggling with my run. But I'm selective about who I listen to. Because I've been training my mind and my body for over 25 years. And you're never successful over your mind, you're never successful over your body. If you don't keep them trained, they'll beat you up. And that's why I'm always on about the suffering. You know, I'm out doing my suffering now, because if I suffer now, the day is mine. Anyway, gurus. I got mine last year. I hit all my business goals that I'd set out, and for a 10-year plan, I'd hit them in 4 years. And I thought I would feel this elation, and I didn't. I went into a depression I hadn't felt since in my 20s, and I went into a blind panic. And I spoke to a friend of mine, and he recommended I go to this kind of guru, which I did. So I went along, nice enough guy. Went to a couple of them actually, to be fair. And one was alright, the other one, nice enough guy. But what I realised is, after speaking to him, he was just regurgitating crap that I'd read myself for these books. And it wasn't like he was reminding me. It's just regurgitation of this crap. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not really getting much out of this. So I'm trying to dig deeper into them. And I found out, not just them, I looked at other gurus, and I just, you know, you look at them, so many of them are where you are, or where I am, you know, at the time, where they were depressed. And what they're doing is they're self-medicating their depression through thinking they're helping you, when actually they're helping themselves. When they're asking you questions, they're really asking themselves questions. So many of these gurus, and so same with a lot of people in the psychology industry, you know, have damaged themselves, and a lot of them have become gurus. They've never been successful business people. They became gurus because they were reading all that, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're reading all this stuff to try and make their life better, which is the right thing to do. But then they've thought, I'm going to teach this stuff. They've never used that stuff to go and start a business or make a change. It's like, oh, I get this, I'm going to get out the job, I'm going to get out of everything that's making me miserable and teach this stuff. But my belief is they've never really dealt with what's made them miserable. They've just went into becoming a professional consumer of that material, and they're self-medicating and keeping themselves straight by going through it all with you. And I don't think that's right. Some of the gurus that I listen to, you know, guys like Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, they're successful business people, highly successful business people that were at rock bottom. They weren't the folk that, a lot of gurus are privileged people. They've got money in the bank and they start doing this. Some of them as a hobby, and then it grows. But these guys like Eric Thomas and Tony Robbins, they had nothing, and they had to work, you know, their derriere off to get to where they get to, and then they started businesses, became successful business people, you know. So they've got a real story to tell. And I think that's what you've got to, I'm not saying don't get a guru, absolutely you should. If it helps you and it works, then great. Just be very mindful of the state that you're in when you go to one, and the type of guru it is. Ask them about their history. How did you get to where you've got to? Why do you do what you do? You know, things like that. What's your career history? Who have you helped? Do you get any evidence? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to end up with some self-medicating, you know, kookaboo. It'll get you in this kind of I just don't think it helps. Get to somebody who's been successful in all manners of life, and even though they've been successful, they still struggle. Get to somebody. Any of the gurus that tell you, I can fix you. It's nonsense. You can't. Hard work. You know, I've heard gurus, oh, everything's too hard. Everybody makes it too hard. The reality is, if you want a good body, you have to work hard. If you want muscle, you have to lift weights. If you want to be strong in the mind, very few people are naturally strong in the mind. Most folk have to work to be strong in the mind. You have to accept that. It's not going to change. So if some gurus are on there telling you about, oh, I've got this program that will change your life and blah blah blah, it's nonsense. Absolute nonsense, in my opinion. You know, you've got to get out there and do your homework when you go to a guru, just like you would anything else. You're buying a house, you're buying a car, you would test drive it. Test drive your guru. Test drive them. But don't be scared to ask them questions. No, it's not about you. You've got a damn right. If somebody's going to start meddling with your head and trying to help you mentally, you've got every right to find out what their background and qualification is. And if anybody tells you that they're 100% happy, healthy, I would be pretty sceptical, because even the besties get up, you know, your Tony Robbins, they have bad days. It's how you get through it, and the tools to help you with that, you know. So there you go. That's my word on gurus. Have a lovely day.